Welcome to today's practical planning tip by ParkBridge Wealth Management. My name is Jonathan Shenkman, and I'm President and Chief Investment Officer of the firm. Today, I'd like to start a new series that will be instructive to all investors on confirmation bias and what the media can teach us about personal finance. Let me begin this series with some background. So, it's approximately 9 months since the horrific October 7th attack on Israeli civilians by Hamas. Sadly, as of this recording, there are still over 100 hostages being held in Gaza. What I find absolutely astounding is the lengths mainstream media will go to place blame on Israel for the current circumstances in Gaza. It doesn't take superior intellect to understand the situation. Israel was brutally attacked. They're trying to rescue their kidnapped people and prevent something from this happening ever again. Yet a constant stream of news headlines continues to equate Hamas's barbaric actions to Israel's right to defend herself. The mental gymnastics that it takes to make this narrative sound logical is breathtaking. And a good example of this intellectual dishonesty took place just a few months ago. One of the top news stories on Reuters was, and I quote, ICC prosecutor seeks to arrest warrants for Netanyahu and Sinwar. Regardless of whether you love or hate him, Benjamin Netanyahu is the democratically elected leader of a vibrant, functioning country. He's not a terrorist. He's not committing crimes against humanity. Sinwar, on the other hand, is the leader of an internationally recognized terrorist organization that uses murder, rape, and violence against civilians to achieve their goal of killing Jews. Hamas's charter makes it clear that killing Jews is their goal. Yet seemingly intelligent, well-educated people at the ICC and the media folks at Reuters go out of their way to draw moral equivalence that does not exist. The question I constantly find myself asking is, why does this intellectual dishonesty occur? And the answer, at least partially, is due to confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the tendency of people to favor information that confirms or strengthens their beliefs or values and is difficult to dislodge once affirmed. Many media outlets around the world selectively use data and stories that support their predetermined anti-Israel agendas. Therefore, instead of focusing on the cause of the war, which is Hamas's terrorist activities, and the way it can end, which is by Hamas surrendering and releasing innocent Israeli civilians from captivity, the focus is on the plight of the people of Gaza, whose woes are also largely and exclusively due to Hamas. Overlooking material information that doesn't support your thesis or agenda is quite convenient. And while confirmation bias that I see daily in the news is infuriating, it is not the only place that this heuristic arises in our daily lives. In fact, this bias is a major stumbling block for investors as well. It causes folks to selectively gather information that supports their personal investment viewpoint while filtering out potentially useful facts and opinions that don't coincide with their preconceived notions. Furthermore, it may lead to overconfidence in our beliefs, sometimes in the face of obviously contrary evidence. For example, an individual may decide to invest in a company, whether for legitimate reasons or because of their catchy message, sleek products, or being enamored with the CEO. As new information emerges, attention is given solely to commentary that supports the initial viewpoint to buy the stock, while ignoring any obvious concerns or impending financial disaster like lower sales, financial fraud, or possible bankruptcy. Holding on to such an investment may seem silly to the objective outsider, but people tend to reassure themselves of their original thesis, even if it could lead them to financial ruin. Another confirmation bias scenario that I often see within circles is when friends tell their buddies about an exciting investment with high returns and virtually no risk. When people tell me about these deals, they're so jazzed about the potential upside, they frequently ignore the laundry list of associated risks. I remind my friends that risk and rewards are inextricably linked. If they're being promised high returns, they will need to take a high level of risk. These risks can encompass a variety of things, including liquidity, default, and leverage, conveniently overlooking an investment's many glaringly obvious negatives and only focusing on the potential upside that aligns with your excitement can lead to the loss of a lot of money. Every person suffers from some form of investment-related confirmation bias. The key is not letting it derail you from being able to achieve your financial goals. It's important for investors to establish a process to overcome biased behavior, which should include three key components, which I'll start covering tomorrow. And with that, I hope you found this practical planning tip helpful. Until next time, stay prudent, practical, and don't forget to plan ahead.